Suddenly, a stairway made of light appeared. They then began to walk up the stairs. Wait a minute! If these stairs are made of light, then how did they walk up them? Hello everyone, it's me, Elemental Heroes, and I was just rereading the story from the beginning. I was like starting over, I was reading it. And I noticed a few things. I realized a few things. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So hang on. Okay, so there are a lot of problems in the story. I've realized I've reached the end of season 1, and I realized there are some weird stuff. I realized that our story logic doesn't really make sense much. So I've decided to record myself reacting to these things as I realize that, wait, this logic does not make sense. So first of all, in the first episode, listen, in the first, let me just read this to you guys. I want you guys to guess. What do you guys, I want you guys to guess. Once I'm reading this, I want you guys to guess. See if you can see what the problem is here. Alright. Finally, Isaiah picked up a yellow crystal and got lightning powers. He teleported behind a new person named Amani. Suddenly, he picked up a white piece of the meteor. He got wind powers. Together, we are the Elemental Seven, Chidai shouted, and he was their leader. The end. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to process that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, clearly, what the problem is here. So, Isaiah got lightning powers and teleported behind a new person who showed up. A random stranger, by the way, named Amani, and he got air powers. And Jediah said, together we are the Elemental Seven without question. Without question, they didn't even ask Amani who he was. They didn't even ask. They just, hey, a new person here. Together we are the Elemental Seven. They didn't even say that. They didn't even say that. They just, together we are the Elemental Seven. And this person's here too. So yeah, let's go. This is so wrong. This is so wrong. I did not write this, by the way. You could tell by the handwriting. I'm not gonna call names, but this is so wrong. I'm just, it's no. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb, okay? It is so dumb. I'm also going to be like going through, you see these scribbled out? These scribbled out words. Yeah, they are words that are scribbled out. Little happy accidents that we made, and some accidents are just ridiculous. Okay. But I'm not gonna do that to him. I'm not evil. Alright? Listen, he is my friend, okay? He is my friend. I respect him. We all make mistakes. He is very smart and intelligent, but sometimes he's not very smart, okay? So anyways, and I make mistakes of myself too. So I make mistakes. You see, yeah. But anyways, as I was reading this and the end of this episode, I had reached here when I turned. No, wait, not. Yeah, it was not this episode. Wait, when I'm reading the last episode of season 1, I skip forward a bit, and when I reached to this specific when I reached to this specific picture, yeah, I realized that Rose pretty chunky. I was like, why the heck is he so chunky? I was like, yep, that's one of my drawings. I was literally going back. I looked at this picture and realized I think I accidentally made him a bit chunky. but anyways, the next scene is the real reason why I decided to record this. So in this episode, in season 1, episode 5, the final showdown. Let me come here. So Kal-El just told them about the light crystal and that it could be found in a giant cloud. And the only way you could get up there is through three honest people. So Jedediah, Isaiah, and Elias went up to the cloud. They are honest. Also, wait, no, not Isaiah, Jedediah and Amani. Sorry, Jedediah and Amani. They went. Jedediah, Amani, and Elias went up to the cloud. Mostly Jedediah and Amani, because those two things emanate lights. That was not my idea. Um, and and a stairway made of light. I repeat, a stairway made of light appeared. Uh-huh. They then began to walk up the stairs. If those stairs are made of light, then how the hell are they walking up this thing? But anyways, we're just gonna ignore that feature for now. Like I said, these are happy little accidents that break the laws of physics. But anyways, yeah. Another thing also that Jedediah also told me about himself, and this this shout out to Jedediah. Shout out to Jedediah. Also, big shout out to Jeremiah too. Jeremiah. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but Jeremiah has come up with um, a few ideas for the movie, and it's great. He's made some very very great things. So shout out to Jedediah and Jeremiah for this. Shout out to them. Yeah. All right. So Jedediah told me about this himself when we were having our battle with Jelani. If I go back here, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hang on. Ah, here it is. So here, Jamil then used his powers to summon a giant tsunami to try and drown Jelani. Jelani then barely flew out of it. If it, okay. I had a big dumb, okay? I had a big dumb. So Jedediah told me, shout out to him again, by the way, if I summoned a giant tsunami to try and drown Jelani, wouldn't that also get the heroes too? And I was like, oh. So I had a big dumb, okay? I had a big dumb. So I could be dumb too sometimes, jeez. Another thing that I noticed as well, if I go back to when the rest of the heroes had their first encounter with Jelani after he stole Amani's powers. So the battle started off like this. Jedediah used his fireballs, tried to try and set Jelani on fire. Jelani flew out of the way and blew Jedediah away with his fire. And then Jedediah told me, actually, wind can actually make fire stronger because it can make fire spread. So wind should actually make fire faster. And I was like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. But anyways, another thing that I noticed here. So Jedediah used his fireballs to try and set Jelani on fire. Jelani dodged it, blew Jedediah away. Noah tried to use his ice powers to freeze Jelani. Jelani dodged it, blew him into Jedediah. And then immediately after, 2 attacks into this fight, he said, enough! I've had enough of this. This powers will soon be mine. We haven't even got to the other heroes. It was just two attacks. And then, no, I've had enough of this. And I'm leaving. Listen, I can be dumb too sometimes. Okay? Leave me alone. But anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading the story for a little bit. And if I realize something weird's happening again, I will pick you guys up on it. So I'll see you guys in like a few minutes. Hang on. Wait, I just realized another thing here that proves Jedediah's point. I just began to start reading this again. So Elias used the light crystal to upgrade the hero's powers, including Jedediah's powers. So hear me out here. Let's just listen. So if we go back here, if we go back to this moment, when Jedediah was alone, he was practicing his fireballs. A strong wind blew, and suddenly his powers upgraded. A strong wind blew, and suddenly his powers upgraded. This is another thing that proves his point that this wind that Jelani blew should have upgraded his powers. The wind that Jelani blew should have upgraded his powers or made him stronger or something. That is another proof. But I'm not too sure about that because this wind was actually sent by the light crystal. This wind was actually sent by the light crystal. So, yeah. Here's another moment that proves one of Jedediah's points. Um, Jamil then sent such a powerful tsunami at the rat, he knocked it out. Yeah, a powerful tsunami, huh? Shouldn't that also get the heroes if it's a tsunami? And also, that is not the height of a tsunami. I'm just looking at it. And I just realized that Alright, here's another little thing. Not really like such a big deal, but a little thing that was pointed out. Why are they floating? Why are they floating? So yeah, it was just my voice is dying. Help me, I'm dying. So like it was supposed to be Jeremiah grabbing Jedediah. I mean not Jedediah, Kal-El, and you know, jumping. He's grabbing Kal-El and jumping out of the way, but yeah, it kind of got like that. Okay, so here's another thing that I just realized out of just pure thoughts. If I skip forward, here to season 2, if I skip forward here to season 2, episode 3, I think, or yeah, season 2, episode 3, Elias got killed again, and the revive gun was broken. Now, how the revive gun was made in the first place was Jedediah got angry, created a giant fireball. The heroes tried to use their powers on the fireball to try and stop him, and then that created the revive gun. Why couldn't they just create another revive gun? They still have their... It's not like they lost their powers. Listen, I could be dumb sometimes too. I am so dumb. I am actually so dumb. Hang on. Remember the time I said where Elias was supposed to get both darkness and light powers back, but I said he never had darkness powers in the first place? Yeah, turns out he actually did have the darkness crystal, because apparently Isaac gave it to him. Because who else would you give it to? Can't trust him with that kind of power. I feel so dumb now. But don't worry, I'll make sure he gets back this power in the movie. Yeah. Okay, so another thing that I'm realizing here, well, this isn't really a mistake that I'm realizing here, but it's something crazy that I'm realizing here. So, after Dante broke these two mad scientists out of prison, they went back to the blue meteor that he found. They both then touched the meteor and got powers. Jelani got the powers of laser eyes, and Isaiah got the powers of super flexibility, so he could stretch his body parts for an infinite range. Yeah, remember when I said, okay. So basically, Jake has the powers of super strength, laser eyes, flexibility, invisibility, flight, teleportation, and the power to move very fast when underwater. He also has the power of the darkness crystal, which I just realized. Yeah! So Jake has all these powers. All of these powers. Super strength, laser eyes, flexibility, invisibility, flight, teleportation, the power to move very fast underwater, and the elemental of darkness. Oh, and healing tears, by the way. I just, I can't, no. So, what I just realized is that Jake actually has the powers of darkness. Because, yeah, if we go to the end of this episode here, Christian, well, this is when he last died, the episode of Revenge, Sneak Attack, specifically. When the monster drops the light and darkness crystal that he stole from Elias, Christian picked it up. Now, this was long before. Jake was created long before Christian took the light and darkness crystals. And Elias was revived long after Jake was created. So, which means Jake still has the powers of darkness. Jake still has the power of darkness. And I believe somewhere deep down he also still has the power of light. Because if we skip over to season 2, episode 5, the diamonds, Christian gets turned into Grey Diamond by White Diamond fusing the light crystal and the darkness crystal together. Christian has always been Grey Diamond. Since after the episode where he was chosen to be the chosen one. Which means somewhere deep down, Jake still has those light powers. And maybe they could be reawakened just like how Elias got his light powers reawakened. Oh, I just also realized that apparently Jake also has the power of infinite brain cells. Basically, Jake, deep down, is smarter than all these heroes combined. He just doesn't realize his powers yet. He doesn't realize who he really is. Jedediah then tried to quickly heal Elias with the revive gun. Again, why didn't you just make another one? The heroes no longer had the revive gun to revive Elias. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't make another one. This means he was permanently dead. They all then broke down into tears at the sight. Wow, broke down into tears, huh? If only Pink Diamond or Jake was there at this moment. It kinda looks like Aziel is sticking out his tongue here. It also looks like he's sticking out his tongue here. Here's a very interesting detail in the story here. Let me read it out for you. Suddenly, the giant monster jumped down in front of them and tried to kill Noah. At that moment, all the other heroes, including the Chosen One, appeared and unleashed their rage onto the monster, using all of their powers at the same time. Right there, the monster tried to use its powers to fight back, but they were too powerful. Finally, they completely transformed Zahir back to normal. So, this is another moment when the heroes were also all using their powers on something at the same time. This resulting in Zahir transforming back to normal, the same effects of the revive gun in the last episode that I talked about, including the Chosen One, which means the effect of the revive gun was even more powerful this time. So they basically just used the revive gun without using the revive gun. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Here's a very, very interesting detail in the story as well. So hang on. Suddenly, the light crystal and the darkness crystal both dropped on the ground. Christian saw them and went up to them. He then picked up the two crystals and suddenly, the crystals triggered a magical reaction inside of him, causing him to gain the power to drain other people's powers. It triggered a magical reaction, just like how Kayla triggered a magical reaction in Elias to reawaken his powers. Just saying. Here's a very, very kind of nerve-wracking and disturbing feature here. They then took them all to prison. Meanwhile, somewhere in space, someone was observing them from afar. He's perfect, they said. That was Pink Diamond, clearly. Well, you guys already know that. So this whole time, Pink Diamond was watching them, which means she also watched the death of Elias. This whole time, she knows very well that she has healing powers. She's been watching them this whole time, watched Elias' death, and did not come down to Earth to heal Elias. This whole time. That's just evil. And now she wants to come down to Earth pretending to be all nice and stuff. Yeah, I'm watching you, Pink Diamond. That's a joke. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end it there. That'll do it all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.